Now like to introduce April St. James, who is here on behalf of United States Senator Jackie Rosen. April,
Hi,
welcome.
everyone. Thank you so much for having me. On behalf of Senator Rosen's office, we are delighted to be, invited to participate in the second annual Nevada Advocacy Recovery Day. So thank you so much for having us. The speakers today have been tremendous in sharing their personal stories of loss, of struggle, and as we all know, advocacy for yourselves and the recovery process is something that is lifelong, right? It's not something that we're going to be doing once, meeting with a legislator, and that's it. The work is never done. We're always discovering new issues, and so without people like yourselves, reaching out to our offices, letting us know where are these holes, where are there needs in the state of Nevada, we can't get anything done without you. It all starts with you. One example that I like to always bring up is, you're all very important to this process. And, our former president, Barack Obama, he started out as an organizer. If he can take, his advocacy for special issues and organize all the way up to the top, there's nothing that you all can't do. Your personalized stories are what actually affect legislation, and without you, nothing gets accomplished. And so we truly want to encourage all of you to really believe in yourself. You already have the courage to be on a call like this, speak in front of people. Continue that courage, continue to tell us about the things that you need from us, so that we can better improve the state of Nevada for everyone. One of the pieces of legislation that Senator Rosen just recently worked on, and I'm sure all of you are very aware of, is the American Recovery Plan. Which is sending, $2.9 billion to the state of Nevada in order to help contribute to Governor Sisolak's Every Nevadan Recovery Plan. So we are very, very happy to see where those dollars will be going. It was exciting to hear his announcements today. And so if there are issues that you would like to advocate about, we are always open to hear what you need from us. So on behalf of Senator Rosen, thank you for all that you do. Keep the courage to keep talking about these issues through the highs, through the lows, because that's where real change happens. So thank you so much for having us. And then lastly, we did want to present a certificate of congressional recognition to the Foundation for Recovery. I'll be sending this along. Oh gosh. We can see it. Yeah, my background is kind of forcing that to disappear, but it will be sent along later today, and we are so happy to recognize what a wonderful group of individuals you all are and the great work that you're doing to contribute to a healthier Nevada. So thank you so much.
Thank you, April. And I just saw that Senator Scott Hammond was able to join us from his busy day. Things are going fast in Carson City. So Senator Hammond, thank you for joining us today. I'd like to welcome you to Recovery Advocacy Day.
Thank you very much, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be here. I like to say that I've become a little bit more active in what you all are doing, and it's mostly because of what you said. I was privileged to be able to hear a speech that you gave a couple of years ago now, and it kind of changed my mind. I, as a former teacher, I've had several students that have made an impact on my life, and one of them, a young man that when he left school, he played I think junior college baseball in Florida, and sort of got wrapped up into everything that you've talked about in the past. He went to the pill mill central, right? He got caught, got injured, and then was all of a sudden put on some medication. He couldn't get off, and then that led to another thing, led to, unfortunately, an addiction, and really unfortunately, it took his life. So when you started speaking, a lot of that sort of fell on me, resonated with me, and and it just led me to want to do more. And last session I had a bill. It didn't make it out of the Senate. That then we, with the help of Senator Ratty, we attached to one of her bills that made it out of the Senate and over to the Assembly, and we attached all the words and the meaning behind it, and passed it as part of her bill as well. So it's great to be able to contribute to that. But a lot of that, the courage I got from you. So it's nothing extraordinary. It's just I think a lot of people working together, and the synergy that we create starts to demystify and starts to allow people to realize that those people out there who are addicted, they're our brothers and sisters, they're our moms, our dads, and they're people who need to be helped, and there's nothing wrong with them. They just need a little bit of help to get out of the situation they're in. So a lot of that is from you, from the book that you wrote. I read that cover to cover, and started to work on understanding a little bit more. So I appreciate the opportunity to come here and talk to you all about that.
Thank you, Senator. And everything that I've learned and done and spoken up is because of this community and the folks that are on this call who gave me the courage to do the work as a recovery advocate. And our stories are so powerful and so important, and can have such a tremendous amount of impact in the recovery community as a whole. We are mindful of that impact. And thank you, Senator, for joining us today and for taking time out of your schedule. And we look forward to working with you throughout the rest of this session and moving forward. With that said, I want to thank all the legislators and special guests, and a special shout out to Governor Sisolak for the announcement this morning. We're really excited about that, and looking to continuing to build on recovery-friendly workplaces here in Nevada. To help close us out today, I am super grateful and really jazzed up to introduce one of my good friends, Joseph LMS Green. Joseph is undoubtedly one of the best spoken word artists in the country, and also proudly living in long-term recovery. Joseph's work focuses on intentional diversity, social justice, radical love, and the sacred belief that our stories have the power to connect, inspire us the way that very few things can. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Joseph LMS Green.
Hi, everybody. Just want to make sure everyone can hear me. Thumbs up, Brian. Awesome. It is my pleasure and honor to be here at what is undoubtedly one of the most important events that I've had the ability to be at while in the middle of this pandemic. I am all of those things that Ryan said, and I really appreciate that very warm introduction. But I, above all of that, am a father of 2 sons. And the reason why I mention that is because as we go through this process of legislature and getting people inspired to go out and make a difference and speak to their senators and to talk about how recovery has made a difference in their life and how important it is to support people out in our communities, I think about the reason why so many of us are here. I think about the reason why so many of us have been inspired to step into uncomfortable spaces, have uncomfortable conversations, to take our personal stories and to highlight them in the hopes that it will inspire the very change that we know can save lives. And so when I thought about what I wanted to share with you all here today, I decided that I wanted to share a poem about my family and my family's story with addiction and recovery. And I do this as a hope, as a dream, as a wish that I put up into the air that I will be able to stop the cycle in my family the way that my father was able to do it for himself and then eventually with me. And I hope that what we've gone through will be a light for my children. And I encourage everyone to embrace and understand and know and be willing to share their stories when it has the chance to save a life. And so this poem is called life is short and is dedicated to my father and everyone who has been inspired by a family member to get into this fight. In the hospital bed, I helped him turn so the cancer medication could spread more evenly. His eyes welled and cracked like a fortune cookie. The piece of paper inside read, "Life is short, but being alive is the longest thing you will ever do. Proceed accordingly." If I'd attempted this homage to my father 20 years ago, it probably would have consisted more of those intangibles that drove me away, hate and blame, more than just mere symptoms of childhood angst, but the language I learned to explain how my father's absence from my formative years made me feel. You see, I once considered my father's DNA to be a cancer in me, knowing the helix to be doubled. I never dreamed of losing myself completely, only half. A man now, I realized my thinking was the cancer. Forgiveness is medication. I'm still waiting for it to spread evenly. Always with the wrong bottle in hand from birth, my father showed me the image of addicts, resembles something like a court jester juggling knives, one blade for family, one blade for work, one blade for marriage, one for the military that never treated him equally, one for the father that died when he was 10, another for the mother that was never the same, all the while spiraling down towards the greatest come to Jesus moment ever. 16-year-old son in the back seat as wife picks him up from jail after his second DUI. My father has been in recovery for 25 years now. My father's poison was alcohol. Mine was cocaine. They say parents want children to grow up, achieve feats greater than their own. I don't believe this is what they had in mind. I've spent years mortified of mirrors for having his image being reflected back on me. Saw the new likeness at the bottom of empty whiskey bottles and clear plastic baggies, mainline hate and blame until I became so high I had nowhere to go. Rock bottom in the sky, I landed in my father's arms. Through falling, I've come to realize, just as I did not, my father did not ask for this predilection towards addiction. That hate and blame are just new ways to get high for those of us not ready to change. And that which took him half a lifetime only took me 10 years because he has shown me what recovery looks like, what dignity reinstated looks like, what a future not haunted by regret looks like. I refuse to be another cautionary tale of a son who couldn't forgive his father because he couldn't forgive himself. Traveling down Route 95, stopped by a cop for going 95, exclaiming out of the window of my car that, like all men, my father is dying. And like most men, I never told him I understood. Never told him I knew one of those blades he juggled had love for family inscribed in it. Never said I forgave him as I hope he has forgiven me. Never said thanks. Never said I'm proud of you. And though I realize neither side of this reflection will ever be perfect, I'm no longer scared of mirrors because life is short. But being alive is the longest thing you will ever do. Proceed accordingly. Thank you for having me. I hope you were inspired by these words, and I look forward to seeing you all in person very soon. Have a great day.
Wow. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you for those words. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for the work that you do for this community day in and day out, and for your engagement with the Recovery Advocacy Project and the so many just like phenomenal projects that you're involved in. Just you know, Joe, when I have to tell this story really quick as we close out. Joseph knows it's coming. I first met Joseph when I was traveling around the country with Garrett Haid, who many of you know, when I was early in my recovery in 2016 and wanted to learn what recovery advocacy was and what was happening around the country. And Garrett and I didn't have a place to stay, and we ended up, because we had no money. I mean, we were just traveling around in an RV, and we ended up in Washington, D.C., where Joseph was living at the time. And he offered up his couch to us. And we stayed with Joseph, I think, for like 2 or 3 days while we were there and got to know him, and the rest is history. And it has just been, the pleasure of my lifetime to get to know you and grow this bond with you. So thank you for the work you do, Joseph. And I want to thank everybody who's here with us today for joining us. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your passion. And thank you for continuing to share your voices for impact. The recovery movement here in Nevada, without a doubt, is making tremendous strides. And that is because of each and every one of you. Please join us at the Recovery Advocacy Project. Help us get across the finish line this legislative session. You can learn more about us at recoveryvoices.com. Until then, please stay safe, stay healthy, and keep standing up for recovery in your communities. I want to pass it back to Sean to close us out. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Ryan. I remember 2 years ago during the 80th legislative session, and advocates like everyone here today showed up in Carson City for the inaugural Recovery Advocacy Day. I never thought that we'd be coming together this session on Zoom, but I'd call it a great success, and I'm thankful for everyone who participated today. Remember that we are the solution. Keep advocating for what's right and never be ashamed. One call to action that I have for everyone is to get involved. Reach out to one of the many panelists, partner organizations, Foundation for Recovery, or the Recovery Advocacy Project to start making a difference in your community. Whether it's becoming a community trainer, helping with outreach, distributing naloxone, providing peer recovery support, or volunteering on a warm line. Unfortunately, there is no shortage of work to be done, and we can use all the help we can get. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and thank you everyone for joining us today for the 2021 Recovery Advocacy Day.